Whenever we look at space and see a meteoroid, we begin to question ourselves. What are they? And what are they made of? Well, if you've wondered about it the same as us, then today we have the answers to your questions. So watch this video till the very end so you won't miss anything. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. A meteoroid is a small rocky or metallic body in outer space. Meteoroids are defined as objects significantly smaller than asteroids, ranging in size from grains to objects to up to a meter wide. Objects smaller than this are classified as micrometeoroids or space dust. Most are fragments from comets or asteroids, whereas others are collision impact debris ejected from bodies such as the Moon or Mars. Meteoroids are lumps of rock or iron that orbit the Sun, just as planets, asteroids, and comets do. Meteoroids, especially tiny particles called micrometeoroids, are extremely common throughout the solar system. They orbit the Sun among the rocky inner planets, as well as the gas giants that make up the outer planets. Meteoroids are even found on the edge of the solar system, in regions called the Kuiper Belt and the Oort cloud. Different meteoroids travel around the Sun at different speeds and in different orbits. The fastest meteoroids travel through the solar system at a speed of around 42 kilometers, 26 miles per second. Many meteoroids are formed from the collision of asteroids, which orbit the Sun between the path of Mars and Jupiter in a region called the asteroid belt. As asteroids smash into each other, they produce crumbly debris meteoroids. The force of the asteroid collision can throw the meteoroid debris, and sometimes the asteroids themselves, out of their regular orbit. This can put the meteoroids on a collision course with a planet or moon. Other meteoroids are the debris that comets shed as they travel through space. As a comet approaches the Sun, the dirty snowball of the comet's nucleus sheds gas and dust. The dusty tail may contain hundreds or even thousands of meteoroids and micrometeoroids. Meteoroids shed by a comet usually orbit together in a formation called a meteoroid stream. A very small percentage of meteoroids are rocky pieces that break off from the Moon and Mars after celestial bodies. Often asteroids or other meteoroids impact their surfaces. Meteoroid impacts are probably the largest contributor to space weathering. Space weathering describes the processes that act upon a celestial body that doesn't have an airy atmosphere, such as asteroids, many moons, or the planets Mars and Mercury. Meteoroids crash into these bodies, creating craters and throwing space dust. More meteoroids back into the solar system. Almost all meteoroids contain extraterrestrial nickel and iron. They have three main classifications: iron, stone, and stony iron. Some stone-like meteoroids contain grain-like inclusions known as chondrules and are called chondrites. Stony meteoroids without these features are called achondrites, which are typically formed from extraterrestrial igneous activity. They contain little or no extraterrestrial iron. The composition of meteoroids can be inferred as they pass through Earth's atmosphere from their trajectories and the light spectra of the resulting meteor. Their effects on radio signals also give information, especially useful for daytime meteors, which are otherwise very difficult to observe. From these trajectory measurements, meteoroids have been found to have many different orbits, some clustering in streams, see meteor showers, often associated with a parent comet, others apparently sporadic. Debris from meteoroid streams may eventually be scattered into other orbits. The light spectra, combined with trajectory and light curve measurements, have yielded various compositions and densities, ranging from fragile snowball-like objects with a density about a quarter that of ice to nickel-iron-rich dense rocks. The study of meteoroids also gives insights to the composition of non-ephemeral meteoroids. Assessing the impact. Meteoroids are generally as harmless as any other celestial body. They're specks of dust floating around the Sun. Space agencies such as NASA do monitor the movement of meteoroids. However, for two reasons: potential impact with spacecraft and potential impact with Earth. Spacecraft. The impact of even a micrometeoroid can damage the windows, thermal protection systems, and pressurized containers of spacecraft. This could endanger astronauts, result in the loss of valuable scientific instruments, and cost millions of dollars. Engineers must prepare and equip spacecraft to avoid or withstand meteoroid impacts. To do this, they have classified three different meteoroid environments: the sporadic environment, the shower environment, and the lunar environment. The sporadic environment describes the threat of meteoroids created by asteroids or comets. Engineers must determine what area of the spacecraft is most vulnerable to sporadic meteoroids and prepare stronger shielding mechanisms. The shower environment describes the threat of meteoroid streams associated with comets passing through Earth's orbit. On Earth, these debris fields are associated with meteor showers. Engineers must be able to maneuver the spacecraft to take its most vulnerable areas out of the path of the meteoroid stream. The lunar environment describes the threat of meteoroids to astronauts or facilities on the Moon. Although there has been no long-term astronaut stays on the Moon, engineers have designed spacesuits, vehicles, and habitats that can withstand meteoroid impacts. Earth. When a meteoroid passes through Earth's atmosphere, it heats up due to air resistance. The heat causes gases around the meteoroid to glow brightly. This glowing meteoroid is called a meteor, sometimes nicknamed a shooting star. Most meteoroids that enter Earth's atmosphere disintegrate before they reach the ground. The pieces that do strike Earth's surface are called meteorites. Both meteors and meteorites can become natural hazards to the communities they impact. Very large meteors called bolides may explode in the atmosphere with the force of 500 kilotons of TNT. These meteors and the shock waves they produce may cause burns and even death, as well as damage to buildings and crops. An actual impact, where part of the space rock actually crashes into Earth, can be even more catastrophic. A single impact event about 65 million years ago, for instance, likely led to the extinction of the dinosaurs and almost every other form of life on Earth. Meteoroids Mars missions. Meteoroids can damage satellites streaking through space as well as those in orbit. In 1967, the Mariner 4 spacecraft encountered a meteoroid stream on its journey to Mars. The meteoroids damaged some of Mariner 4's thermal insulation, although the mission continued successfully. In 1993, the European communications satellite Olympus was hit by a meteoroid associated with the Perseid meteor shower. The Perseid hit Olympus's electronics bay, destroying the device, control movement gyroscope that controlled the spacecraft's momentum. By the time engineers were able to get the tumbling spacecraft under control, its fuel was exhausted and the mission had to be scrapped. That's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel.